Well, it's been a month. Here we are. Everything's going good. Gary, thank you for kind of clarifying that. And I just want to clarify one thing, kind of tagging on to that. There might have been some misunderstanding on how I stated the 1% tax increase in the usage out there for maybe some different projects. And again, the 1% sales tax goes into the general fund. And the reason we did get that passed was good publication and stuff, but that will help build the budget, the general fund up for further projects down the road. It's not a quick fix, but it's to start building it up so we can start making projects down the road to work on. So I hope that clarifies where that money goes. Does not go to the general or to the enterprise funds. So I wanted to clear that up. Next, it was brought to my attention that, boy, this weekend Brick and Tile Park was used a lot by a lot of people, and we had some parking concerns over around there. So I met with Brock Kinkhouse and Martin Montoya today to start looking at adding some parking area just west of the bathroom area, where they were going to put a parking area, I believe, but it wasn't completely talked about or completed. They did have some cars parked back behind the bathrooms right next to the bridge. So we are going to get some ideas brought up to get that fixed, such as maybe putting a split rail fence, maybe some boulders that are already on order, and we still have some grant funding left over to pay for that. So it's not going to come out of any other fund, which is good. So we're talking about putting or making some area accessible with road base so the cars can park maybe out of the mud and stuff. So I'll keep everybody up to date on that, but it just seems like they're needing some more parking. And we know over there off in Nevada, it's kind of smaller parking, but anything we can do to help people out so they can enjoy the park. That's what we want to do. Soccer signups are going good. According to Parks and Recreation, they have 225 kids currently signed up. That's only 15 kids less than we did last year. But there are always some late signups, so we're good there. And baseball started signups today, back to their reduced fees, like Brock and them promised was going to take place. So that's a plus. So maybe we'll get our numbers back up there. As everybody aware, we had that fire underneath the 3rd Street and Adams Bridge. We did get that cleaned up. Thank you to the police department and the street department for taking care of that. We did remove 2 of the very large dump truck loads out of there. I don't have a number of how much it cost us yet, because again, we have to pay that to the landfill. But it did take. There was 4 guys underneath there working for, I don't know, there was 3.5 hours, I think. Dump truck, front end loader, things like that. So we had to use some of our own resources to take care of it, but it does look a lot better underneath there. So hopefully, police department can be doing some extra patrol, and we can maybe help keep that cleaned up and stay clean. You're welcome. From the police department, next Wednesday, April 10th, Chief Todd Quick and Sheriff Sean Mobley are going to be doing a grab a cup of coffee with them and chat with them down at the Copper Kitchen starting at 8 a.m. So that's next Wednesday the 10th. And then just an update from the water department. I hope everybody saw that the public notice went out today on Facebook in reference to the large water break that they had last week. April 2nd, tomorrow, they're going to start repairing that. They got the parts in and everything. So during that time, starting tomorrow, the RO plant will be shut down because they have to shut the water down to that. But there is plenty of water in storage that we're going to be using. They are not going to have to shut the water completely off to that surrounding area unless they absolutely have to. So they'll be able to work on that repair. What they are asking that the public limit the unnecessary water use, such as outside watering, car washes and stuff during this time, so we can keep the usage back up for reserve. That also goes for fire hydrants and things like that. I already have a plan in place. In case something happens, we will only use fire hydrants in that area in a big emergency. So that just kind of, we're going to do our part. We're asking that the public helps us out there. They're hopefully going to have it sometime tomorrow done, late in the afternoon. They will be doing updates on the Facebook page, City of La Junta Public Notices, as this process takes place tomorrow. So if they have to shut water down, they'll put a notice out. If not, they're going to keep it clean. So they're hoping to jump on that. With that, if you notice any discoloration in your water after this is taken care of, just remember, flush the cold water lines in your house or your business, starting at the lowest part, working to the tallest part. And again, make sure you flush all your lines and anything that uses water, such as sinks, toilets, washing machine, showers, things like that. Flush all your lines until the water's clean. But it is safe. Our drinking water is absolutely safe. We meet all the requirements and everything's good there. So my hat's off to them. In the water department, they put in a ton of extra hours, not only with the water break, but also getting the SCADA system updated. They worked numerous hours of overtime, with couple of them working 30 hours straight to make sure that one, the RO plant stayed online and everything got updated and in place. So my hat's off to all of them that took all that extra time. Other than that, everything else seems to be working good. That's the end of my report.
Any questions for Brad?
Easy. Thanks.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
With the a lot of the concentration at brick and tile still, there was a comment about Tippy Martinez playground, that it's looking a little bad and maybe not useful for people. Is there any updates on maybe when we are going to jump over there? And
I'll get with Brock as soon as we can get a plan. I'll get everything out. I know they were not trying to put anything behind, but with baseball season starting and stuff, but we will make sure that we take a look at it, and I'll let everybody know.
Thank you, Brad.
You bet.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Brad?
Question, we had talked about having a crime town hall in April. Is that still in the plans?
I don't know if we're going to do crime or just a general town hall,
Okay.
where you can talk about crime or whatever else is in your mind at that time. So I haven't decided which it's going to be yet. There's just so many issues coming up at once, it feels like, but we will have some sort of town hall probably towards the end of April.
So late April?
Mhm.
Okay.
Know about the cause of that fire on the bridge?
It was a homeless camp, and appeared to be that sometime in the afternoon there had been some cooking going on. I did find the evidence left over of a homemade type campfire underneath, and some food and stuff there, and it looked like it caught. If you think of a lot of debris underneath there was tarps, there was parts of sofas, there was some mattresses, there was a little bit of everything underneath there. The person that had been staying in that area has done a lot of gathering of items from around town. So we also did find some things that I did make sure that the city workers took care of. We did find some needles down there and some other items that were concerned. So they made sure they had steel toe boots on. They used gloves, things like that. Made sure they took care of each other while they were doing it. But that was the cause of the fire, was a campfire.
Thank you. And in other relation to that kind of thing, you talked about gathering of items around the city. There's been people that have noticed, influx of shopping carts in random places where there's no stores. So I don't know if that's something that city's been looking at to help, relocate those.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, as the code enforcement is out doing their stuff, they've been trying to gather and get back to the places that they're supposed to, at least let them know. But I'll make sure that's followed up on as well.
Specifically around the Otero Museum.
Yes, I think I drove by there the other day, and thank you. We'll get that taken care of.
Now, with it being at the Otero Museum and it being so close to Safeway, would that still fall on code enforcement to do, or should Safeway be maybe doing a parameter check?
Probably wouldn't hurt for them as well. What I'll do is I'll talk with Chief Quick and see if we can get some education out there to the businesses that if they are missing some, maybe they need to go out and take a look too, or help us out. We only have so many guys that can get out and do it and take care of it. So if they could help us out, that would be great too. So I'll make a push on that this week.
A lot of those I noticed they didn't want to go down into the arroyo, so they just leave them on top of the hill.
Yeah, thank you for taking care of those. Those have been there a bit.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I walked the brick and tile trail on Thursday, and noticed a few
Shopping carts down there?
along the trail.
Along the trail.
A little too far for me to push back.
And I don't think it was just this weekend with Brick and Tile. I mean, every weekend is busy. It seems like I see
Any-
Paul over there all the time. It's just,
Yeah.
you know,
Any day that the weather's been good, it's
Yeah,
been busy.
it's been great. It's been a great addition to the city. So I appreciate these guys wanting to make it better parking for everybody and make it accessible for everybody as well.
and there's actually, when I went, there was a car that had drove off the little side of the road there off of 8th Street. So the neighbors said there used to be like a railroad tie there at one point with a whole bunch of reflectors.
Oh,
But they don't know when it got taken out.
Yeah, they do have the fence all the way up over there with the gates and everything. So we do have access for first responders. You know, if something happens over there, but they did get the fence completed and it looks really nice over there.
It's a great park. We're gonna have to start putting time limits.
That's right.
So we can all enjoy it too.
Take it.
And then do you just want to clarify real quick about the dog park? Because there was a lot of confusion on that, Brad, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
so the dog park, like it was stated, it is in the master plan. The master plan is available to look at by anybody in the Parks and Recreation Department meeting with the director. It is not, it's not a off the project, but it's a low priority on their rankings. So when they did the master plan, it's not an item that wasn't on there, just a very low priority. And the funding, again, you know, we didn't talk about grants or anything, but we are talking about how it could be used and maybe feasible down the road. So nothing overnight, so it would be a low priority.
Now, is everything on the master plan year over year when they come out, is every item ever completed? Every wish list?
I would like to say yes, but I don't think so. So I don't, some of them
Depends
are
on funding.
funding and priority.
And cause just like with Brick and Tile Park, didn't, they state that they had found that like in a master plan from like 1967?
Yeah,
And it's, you know.
it took this long just to get it
Exactly, so.
to real. So some of those things might be on those master plans for years
Yeah.
before they're even, you know, finalized.
Thank you for that, Brad.
You bet.
I think on that master plan, the majority of the projects have been taken care of. The only two that were left were the tennis courts and then the caretaker's building.
Yeah. And the tennis courts right now is in the process of moving towards the grant process. They're getting everything finalized to get that submitted. And the caretaker building, Brock did get new windows put in there, but he went ahead and boarded them up right away, so the new windows didn't get broke out hours later. So we do have that boarded up right now, but again, that's still in the process of more funding through a grant to hopefully revitalize that building.
Thank you.
You bet.
Governing body comments.